Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now for today's makeup tutorial, our contact lenses are on. Keep on watching and let's get started. Of course, I love my Badescu facial mist. I love it to death. Now this is actually pretty good, especially when I mix it up with my iconic London Prep Set and Glow for that added glowy effect. So I spray that on the face right after I do my Badescu facial mist, and of course try to let it dry a bit, but while the product is still on your face, gently massage it. Then of course, grabbing in our trusted beauty blender, we'll just tap it on the skin. This is actually going to help us in preparing our skin for primer. For primer today, I'll be using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I got this from Protools Cebu, so go check them out. You just need 2 pumps of this product and then just gently apply it on your face. Now, one of the things that I really love about this is that it helps the foundation stick on to the face and it makes it last longer as well. So this is really great for oily skin. Grabbing in my NYX Drop Foundation. Now I love this because it's a medium to full coverage type of foundation, and I also got this from Protools Cebu, so go check them out guys. They have a lot of good products. So I start with a little bit of the foundation so that I have a little bit of the product to work on, and then just use a beauty blender and just bounce it all off. Now don't worry if it might not be enough, just grab a little bit more and then just keep on blending everything out until you like the results. I always love my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. So I watched a video just recently and they told me this trick. So you place the concealer on the inner corner and the outer corner of your eye to give you that more lifted kind of look. Plus, it actually helps in blending the concealer a lot better, especially if you go into the middle part of your under eye. So don't worry if you think there's still a lot more product left on your beauty blender. You can always apply that on areas that you would need to apply concealer on. Concealer is done, baby, and it's looking so snatched. Now with my brows, oh my god, I love this one because this is actually from The Good Brow. This is a brow soap together with a brow mist or a facial mist. Actually, it's a combination of both. So you just spray a little bit of that mist on the brow soap, get a little bit of the product, and then apply it on your brows. You can basically finish your brows in less than 5 minutes, and then it basically gives you that ultimate look. I mean, you just shape your brows, and if you want to fill it a little bit, you can fill it with a brow pencil, which I'm going to do right after this one. And then boom! Brows! So good! So snatched! Here I'm using my iMagic eyebrow pencil in the shade Black. Now it's not really black, it has a grayish tone into it, so it's a lot easier for me and a lot better for me to use as well, because I don't want to have a really harsh looking brow. I just want it to look so natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this pencil and try to fill in the areas that I would normally fill in. So that's usually on the lower part and on the outer corner, and just shape it as how I would want them to look like. So you're basically gonna have to take your time with this because you want to make sure that your brows look so good and so snatched. And of course, since the brow soap is still a little bit wet, you can go on ahead and grab a spoolie and try to reshape it again. This is basically like one of the holy grails that I have in my entire makeup kit. I'm loving this look so far. So of course we're gonna set everything up. We're just gonna grab in our setting powder and of course just take a little bit of the product. Now the very first thing that I want to set is my under eye, since we do have concealer in that area, and that's usually the area that easily starts to crease. So we want to make sure we set that one up so we can basically like proceed to the next parts. So just gently tap it on the skin, and what I usually do is that when I'm done with the under eye, I like how everything is set with my under eye, I then grab my trusted puff that comes along with the setting powder and just basically seal the rest of my face. We're going to set the foundation up, and just a little bit of that powder, you know, just right enough to set every single part of the face. And then you can just brush off the excess with your powder brush. So moving now, we need to contour for the gods. So just gently tap that on the skin, and then once you're done with the tapping, of course you blend it all out. So from inwards going outwards, and of course inwards towards your cheek. Of course, make sure you don't miss your forehead and your jawline. It's always going to be a number 3 when we contour our face. So of course we're gonna do the other side. Then bam, we're contoured. Next is we bake. It's basically to sharpen out the contour as well. So I'm just using here a regular baby powder from Johnson & Johnson's, and just place a little bit of the powder on the areas you want to bake, and just let it sit for a couple of minutes before we brush it off. So I like using a beauty blender here because it's actually a lot more precise when it comes to baking and applying the powder on areas, especially in like cornered ones. Of course, don't forget your nose and of course your forehead when baking. Now it's time for blush. Now I'm using here the iMagic Touch blush palette, and I'm going to be using the shade Temper, and just gently tap that on the skin and blend it outwards. And of course, just take your time in doing this, and since I've been digging that drunk blush kind of look, so I'm going to be placing a little bit on my nose. Now of course, if you think that it's a little bit too much, you can always apply powder on top of your blush to diffuse the pigment a little bit. So guys, I have been dreading and super excited to actually try this eyeshadow palette for the very first time. It's the Morphe Jeffree Star collaboration palette. This is basically one of the eyeshadow palettes that I have that has a really interesting color story, and I got this from Makeup Hall PH. Go check her out. She has her own Instagram account, and you can find all of these amazing eyeshadow palettes that you would want. So of course, for this iconic palette, we have to have an iconic look, and with all of the K-pop videos that I have been watching for the past few days, this is actually inspired from it. And let's get started with the eyes. For primer, I'm gonna be using a mix of both my e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer and my Maybelline Fit Me concealer and just tap that on my eyelid to prep for all of the amazing pigments that are coming your way. I'm not really kidding. I'm serious. Of course, taking in our first shade, which is in the shade name Channel, we'll just gently tap that onto the outer corner of our eyes, going to the inner corner, and of course start off with a little bit of pigment so that you have a little bit of the product to work on, and just blend it all out. Taking in our next shade, which is Los Angeles. I'm gonna place that on top of Channel and give you that orange vibe. I'm loving this look, by the way. And it's just starting off with 2 shades and the pigments are amazing. We're gonna go into the shade Calabasas, which, you know, where Jeffree used to live. And what I usually do is like get a pointed brush and just outline the outer corner so that I would know where my shade should go. Then using a fluffy brush, I'm just going to add in more of that pigment, build it up, and just, you know, work your way until you like how it looks like. Of course, we're gonna take in both our second and third shade and apply that on the lower lash line. So starting from the outer corner, going to the inner corner of our eye. Now, of course, there's actually a pressed glitter in this palette, and it's in the shade Millions. I'm just going to place that from the outer corner going to the middle part of my eyelid and just build it up. Now, it's not gonna get perfect because it is pressed glitter, so it's gonna go everywhere, and just let it be. Now, we're going to highlight in our inner corner, so I'm taking first the shade Dog Mom and place that in the inner corner first, and of course we're gonna add in some pop to that shade, which is in the shade 2. Yes, baby, that is looking so good. And going back to the shade Millions, we're just gonna place that on the middle part of our lower lash line and drag it down to your cheeks. It's like you're crying glitter, but we're crying millions. And add in some black eyeliner pencil, of course, on your waterline. Now, since I'm wearing contact lenses and I do want to put it on the upper part, I just go halfway. With of course, our iconic winged eyeliner. Never forget, the best way to add in more sexiness to the look. Take your time with this, by the way. Just take your time. Do your own pace and just let it whirl. And of course, we're gonna pop in some lashes and mascara. Don't forget. And highlight your brow bone with the same shades that we use in our inner corner. Setting everything up with our iconic London Prep Set and Glow. And add in more glow with some baked highlighter from e.l.f. This is in the shade Moonlight Pearls. Using a beauty blender, by the way, to apply this highlighter is the best way to do it. Trust me. Now, of course, what are we missing? Of course, a red lip to best pair with this eye look. Now, of course, we want to make sure we look good aside from the makeup that we just did. Be right back. And here's the final look. I just popped on a wig, change of clothes, and of course, my earrings, which I love to death. And I really do hope you like this makeup tutorial. This is a Korean inspired makeup look, and I hope to see you guys in the future videos that I will be creating on this channel. Sending you love, and see you soon. Bye!